Okay then.
Yeah. Podcast time. Yeah. Podcast. Yeah.
This bodes well with how chatty we are. It's great.
Oh boy, we're so jumping off the walls, chatty right now.
You were exporting an episode. I wasn't sure if you wanted to
Yeah,
concentrate.
we weren't ready for it. You trying
Like,
to?
the whole thing that I've been doing for like the past 15, 20 episodes is just waiting for conversations to happen so I could just hit the record button and we're right in the middle of it. That's how we do.
Well, we didn't want to be rude. Besides, you should probably prompt us.
Bullshit.
You-
I'm just gonna sit here. And wait
You
for him
get
to
mad when we start talking. You're
I'm
like,
just
man, I
gonna
should have been
sit here
recording
and wait for him to
this.
hit the button, and I don't fucking care. He'll do the intro. He'll get it. Fucking...
All you had to say was, "All right, episode's all good," and then we would have started talking.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
uh,
I can't believe it's Tuesday. It was like just yesterday. It was Monday.
so, yeah, recording, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we
Which
are.
way at?
Sorry. Okay, so we watched a shitty anime, so we're just kind of really low for having nothing. Like, we record Anime Reflux first every time, which, by the way, I'll start uploading those at some point. Fucking Christ, I'm so bad at that. It's terrible. But, yeah. We record those first, and usually that gives us a charge, either positive or negative, of like, hey, we're recording a show talking about a shitty anime, or we're talking about a show that's a good anime. Yeah, everyone gets energized. And then sometimes there are the ones that, what the fuck is this, and why should I care? And that's not conducive to getting energized.
It is fairly indicative of how well the Flux, the podcast show, the anime show went at the start, the first few minutes of the episode. If we seem like we're about to die on the inside, or are already dead, then yeah, it probably didn't go so great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I can't seem to talk today.
Sorry?
I can't seem to talk today. It's great.
Yeah, it's
Words feel
probably
like mud.
same. Yeah. So, podcast. Hi, Casey. How's it going? And Slicer is here.
Hello.
And Zero's here.
Hello. I'm here. You're really sleepy, aren't you?
I'm gonna be perfectly honest. It's been a weird few days. Because I let everything fall to the fucking last minute again. Because I needed a couple of days to recover after. Okay, like last week was the week of shittiness because of vaccine and stuff. And not last week, the week before was the shitty week. So the break that I usually get from writing was filled with feeling like ass. So then I felt like ass, and then had to catch up on everything super quick, and ended up having something late, and then I needed time to actually recuperate mentally. So then everything got left to last minute again, and my weird healthness caused me problems sleeping. Like, you do not want to try sleeping when things itch a lot. It's not great. It's a bad time.
I would say it's in fact quite impossible.
Yeah. Sunday night I got like 3 hours of sleep, which was great because it meant that the chapter that I had to finish the next day was not late. but also shit because it meant I wasn't rested at all. So, had a decent sleep last night, and I've just had a lazy day today, which has kind of been nice, just relaxing, not really doing much because I have all the time in the world because it's the beginning of a new week cycle for me. So, yay. Good times. Hopefully not put everything off until the last fucking minute again because that would be stupid. Like, no excuses anymore. But yeah, I've just been relaxing all day playing Kingdom Hearts because I had an itch that was not uncomfortable but was like a craving. Better word is craving for playing Kingdom Hearts. That game's still fun.
Fair. Oh yeah, those do crop up. I mean, it's a good game.
Yeah. Like,
wait, which one?
One.
Oh, okay, the first one. 1.5 or base?
1.5.
Ah.
Yeah. That's a good game. I look forward to getting back to 2 because it is a good game with flaws that are very apparent once you've played 2. And funnily enough, 2 is not like that after playing 3 because 3 was kind of ugh.
Yeah. 3 was a 8-hour long cutscene.
Yeah. It was less than engaging for most of its playtime. To the point where I, the completionist player, decided, wow, I don't care about literally any of the stuff that's for completionists.
Yeah.
Like, there were the fucking hidden Mickeys, and I didn't care. And
I did all the hidden Mickeys.
there were
It
gummy ship
haunted
missions.
me in my sleep.
I fucking love gummy ship missions. I didn't do, like, half of the gummy ship stuff. There was... Too much of that game was about fucking photographing shit. Fucking selfies took over fucking everything. I hate that fucking phone! But, you know, the kids have phones, so it had to be a thing about fucking phones and Instagram. But
oh my god, I forgot about the fake Instagram shit. That was so weird. Oh.
we did an Instagram for like the 10 people that have these phones. Get it on the ground floor of Mickey's new corporate empire, I guess.
I mean, it's not off-brand for Disney, I guess.
5 years later, Pete's taken over the social media platform.
I can see it. He might be a secret mogul for all we know. Who knows?
Overthrows Mickey. Overthrows the government. Anyway, with the power of Twitter. But, yeah. That game was shit. Photography, I don't fucking care. Crafting and upgrading was basically non-existent. You couldn't do it until pretty much the end of the game. And by that point, you realize, hey, I literally don't need to do any of this game, this extra crafting stuff because the game is piss easy. Oh, fucking food. This might be a good place to find some fucking ingredients.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started on the. This might be a good place to find some ingredients. Like, come on, stop, please.
I didn't even do any of the cooking. Like
Nobody did.
Forgot that was a feature too, or I don't know, a gameplay distraction or whatever you're gonna call it.
Yeah, like you can upgrade your keyblades and get them to like level 10 and they'll do extra cool shit. And you can make your attractions last longer and do better. And you can cook food that will give you stat bonuses for all of the things that you can do. And you can get the secret hidden flan mini games.
Which are completely unreliant on your base stats, from what I remember. They're just all mini games.
And you can do fucking hidden Mickeys and stuff and get all the extra equipment and stuff that those will give you and all that stuff. And you know what? All of it's fucking pointless. Because you can beat it incredibly easy with none of it.
I didn't actually mind the hidden Mickeys. I think that was a fun way to explore levels, but your mileage may vary. I was also following a guide, so I didn't have to just find them from scratch.
I saw hidden Mickeys everywhere in real life. I had like the Tetris effect happen to me. I was searching for them so hard. It was terrifying.
That sounds bad.
That's
it took
what
me a
they
while
wanted.
to recover from that.
That's what they wanted. You see Mickey everywhere now. Disney is in your brain.
It was not pleasant. It was not pleasant at all.
You gotta go to the Mickey, so you go out to your Mickey, drive your Mickey down the Mickey to the Mickey. Yeah. So, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is shit, and I plan on playing 1 and 2 again. I maybe fully complete 2 like I never did the first time I played it. But
did you not? What didn't you beat?
3. I didn't. There were a couple of the super bonus bosses that I didn't do. I didn't do Lingering Well, and I didn't do fucking Zemnis.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. I tried the data fights, and you're no longer playing Kingdom Hearts with the data fights. It's...
Yeah. If memory serves, I did all of them but Zemnis. Because that's a 2-stage fight. It's stupid.
I still have to go do the DLC Remind or whatever.
You probably should. It's not. It's nonsense.
Hey, you know that half-hour cutscene you watched at the end of the game with the fucking everyone dies except they don't? You watch it again.
Yeah? Oh.
Watch it again with a voiceover track talking over it, but it's badly audio mixed, so you have the regular dialogue and also this voiceover track, and they're basically the same volume, so they just talk over each other all the time.
Oh no. Kidding.
Yeah, because Sora's consciousness is actually a ghost that's observing all of this, and I forget. It's bad.
Yeah.
When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby,
Go fast.
go.
Did you ever finish the fucking... was it Melody of Memory?
I
Switch
did not
game?
finish Melody Memories yet. I still am working on it. I mean, like, it fills my itch for when I really want to play a rhythm game, because like sometimes it's like, you know what, I want to hit buttons in time with good music, and it's like, okay, am I on a good music stage? Yes. Am I not? Time to stop.
You know, that just sounds like a good reason to buy the fucking Persona dancing games and just fuck off with the Kingdom Hearts shit, to be honest.
Yeah, because at least with the Persona games, I know that I'm going to be always getting good music. It's just that with Kingdom Hearts, they decided to put every single track from every single game in there.
Well, even then, I mean, I'd still say that's always good music, but I'd also say that's fucking not rhythm game
And
music.
not good rhythm game music, no.
Yeah. Does it have the dance remix of Simple and Clean? From the intro of Kingdom Hearts 1?
I think so. There is like some of that music is like available, of like, this is music like Simple and Clean mixed whatever. And okay, how do I get to that? That's not in the main story. You have to exit out to the main menu and then go into a different special mode to play those sorts of tracks.
Oh, really? The ones that people actually really like and would be great for the game are not actually... Oh, of course they're not.
Nah, let's quarantine those. They're so special. They deserve their own area.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that is. 2002 through 2008, that series had so much promise.
All they had to do was just get out of their own ass. That's it. But they went too deep.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. 1, 2, and Birth by Sleep, that's pretty much all you need from that series.
And I didn't even like Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
I just don't really care about anyone that isn't Sora's group.
Don't you know that you are born by sleeping? True fact.
Yeah.
That title still is a bit of a mind bender for me to figure out how that relates to anything.
And you have the benefit of playing the game.
Birth by Sleep. I mean, Ventus does sleep at the end of the game, but that's not really birth. Does it mean Sora? That also isn't his birth either. That's just...
You're trying to apply logic to Kingdom Hearts, especially late series Kingdom Hearts after a couple of games have gone through. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
I mean, Dream Drop Distance, that was basically, hey, what D words exist? Okay, let's put them all in a title so we can have it be 3D, because it was on the 3DS.
I still did like, in Dream Drop Distance, how the flow system and movement in that game worked. But it was way too powerful.
You're wrong. It's terrible. It's fucking awful.
Oh. It's been a long time since I've gone back and played it, so I'm probably wrong. I remember liking it at the time.
I mean, it's a thing. It's really rough. Like,
okay, so I hated the the dropping aspect, so I didn't play that one. The aspects that they tried to port over to 3, the flow aspect, did they do it well? Did it even work?
Not really.
Because aside from that one challenge where you have to do it, I never used wall jumping or flow or anything.
Like, all they have of flow motion in 3 is the wall running, which is a mechanic that you can use, but it isn't really used in fighting. And the spinny thing you can do on poles that you can do in like one place in every level at most.
I really liked the flow motion though. I got it down to a point where I could go through an entire level without having to touch the ground. It was really fun.
That sounds satisfying. I just don't like it. It's so against regular Kingdom Hearts, or what I'm used to playing for Kingdom Hearts, that the clash was too strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes it feel like a completely different game, and not in a good way.
Kingdom Hearts is light.
It's really not, though.
Kingdom Hearts is light and darkness. No wait, Kingdom Hearts is this. No wait, Kingdom Hearts is a crossover game.
Kingdom Heart is the money you spent along the way.
The ending of that first game really got fucked by the entirety of the rest of the story. Because it makes no sense now.
Yeah.
Because, it's like the bad guy is Xehanort, or part of him, So he knows everything about how Kingdom Hearts works, and like what he was trying to do doesn't make sense for finding Kingdom Hearts because it has nothing to do with it. And then he's like, hey, it's Kingdom Hearts, it's a big door. That's what that is. No, that's just a big door that leads to the Realm of Darkness, which has nothing to do with Kingdom Hearts. But also, the Realm of Darkness makes light for some reason.
Yeah. Again, none of Kingdom Hearts really makes sense with Zero Nine.
Yeah.
Which is even worse because that's the first game. That it hasn't even truly gotten convoluted yet.
You know what the worst decision they ever made was?
What's that?
Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, and Ansem the Wise. Just having that guy steal that other guy's name made everything just instantly more confusing and convoluted, and I feel like they've been trying to undo that continuity snarl for the entire series. Just that is patient zero for how the games got stupid.
That's fair. I mean, just having two characters that have the same name in general is just a stupid idea, and I'm not sure why they thought that was doable.
Probably the worst part of that is they still keep calling him Ansem, even after it's been revealed he was never Ansem. Like,
yeah, but the merch says he's Ansem, so we have to call him that. Otherwise, it'll confuse the customer.
You say that, there isn't actually a lot of Kingdom Hearts merch.
Probably, I don't know. Probably not. I'm just assuming. That's the cynical part of me assuming, based on Disney's Disneyness.
Yeah, Disney specifically don't do Kingdom Hearts merch. Square Enix might, but Disney don't. They just kind of hands off with all of that stuff, despite actually owning the characters. Like, all of that stuff is actually owned by Disney.
I suppose, in fairness, that should be kind of obvious, considering Kingdom Hearts 3 isn't really so much a Disney game anymore. It feels like there's more of their own characters. And the Disney worlds are just there.
There were two good moments in the Disney worlds.
What are those two?
Woody from Toy Story telling Xehanort that no one ever loved him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And then
yeah,
Monsters Inc.
Yep.
You know the moment.
Everyone remembers Yeetus Vanitas. It was...
Yeetus Vanitas was the best.
Oh, God. Just occasional moments of brilliance is how Kingdom Hearts story tends to work. Oh, well.
It's crazy how the most enjoyable parts are when the Disney worlds, have to go against the Kingdom Hearts stuff. That was always the major enjoyment factor, but they phased that out, basically.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I've just played through most of the first game again, and still fucking Clayton from Tarzan turning into a Heartless is still one of the highlights. That's still great.
Yeah. Fuck that fight, man.
Yeah. It's fine.
It's not bad. It's just difficult.
Yeah.
At least I struggled with it at first, anyway.
Magic belts. Beat everything.
That's fair. I just strengthened my way through everything. If I'm struggling, it means my numbers aren't big enough.
Exactly. Big number go boom.
Yeah. Gauging how good your magic is actually a lot harder.
Yeah, I have to imagine.
Yeah. So I've been playing that all day. It's pretty fun. I am literally watching my PlayStation continue to. I'm just going to move the analog stick on my controller just so that it stays on, just so it doesn't go into rest mode. Because I'm sitting waiting for the clock tower thing in Neverland to go through, because that is the dumbest part of the game.
Yeah.
Because there is one door that opens every hour, and that is not real time hours, that is playtime hours. So.
How long is an hour in game again?
An hour.
It's an hour of playtime, meaning you can't just turn the game off and turn it back on an hour later. You have to have the game on for a full hour.
Yep.
Okay, that's even worse than I thought it was. Okay.
You know what makes it worse than that? When you fucking miss one. Because, yeah, that continues to cycle even if you don't get the next one. So, yep. I may have said, hey, we're going to wait another 5 minutes to record, because I was waiting for the next tick over, for the next door to open, so I could get that, and then we can record for 2 hours and get past the one that I missed so I can get the last couple.
I mean, that actually would have been really funny.
Yeah, so, yep. It's a really dumb part of the game that puts some really, really good items behind a thing that you have to wait literally 12 hours to get. Oh well. Aside from that, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts and stuff. The writing things is still going strong and stuff. I'm planning on rejiggering how my Patreon thing goes in the near future. Getting permission from some of the people that commission stories from me to put the stories they're not asking me to work on the Patreon poll, so they can maybe get continued at some point.
That's fair.
I'm also possibly planning on changing how the polls work, because the way it works now is if a story wins the poll, it gets a new chapter on the next Monday, usually Monday, occasionally Tuesday, and then it isn't on the next poll. So if it wins, it skips a poll, and then it goes back on the week after. So I'm thinking maybe that becomes 2 weeks instead of 1. So because what's happening now is 2 stories are basically alternating weeks. Currently, it's been like 8 times now. It's just gone this story, then that story, then the first story, then the second, then the first, then the second, then the first, and the second, over and over again. Kind of not great for the people that are voting for other things every time and not getting it. So
yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that, and also having like one a month be author's choice. So if I'm seeing a thing, like people are voting for a thing and it's just not ever getting it, then I can just be like, 1 week a month, just be like, okay, that one gets a chapter.
I have to assume you have a favorite of your stories or things you want to work on more at that given moment. So yeah, that's fair.
It depends. Like in this circumstance where it's always the same 2 stories, it's not ideal. Like I would like I'm looking at the summaries for the next chapters and the poll, and I'm like, I really want to get that done. And it just never comes up. So yeah, that will hopefully let me do that at some point. It would be nice. But what I'm going to do before I decide on doing any of that is actually putting a poll up to see what my Patreons want, because that just seems fair and reasonable to ask first, since they're the ones paying. So
you do run a business.
Yeah. I don't think I've got anything else to talk about, because I'm lame. Oh, I
I mean, that's a number of things.
heard
It's okay that you're lame.
about a really good rapper called Demon Dice who has no relation to anything
Ah,
else that exists
yes.
currently. Um,
I was I was a fan of Demon Dice quite a long time ago before recent stuff happened.
she is
I'm
quite good.
completely ignorant of this. What happened?
Mm.
That's an odd sound to make. What the
Okay,
fuck is going on?
so Demon Dice as a rapper became someone else and now goes under a different name that it is a bit of a faux pas to actually say. So,
I can
yeah.
PM you,
Yeah,
Slicer.
do you need to slap that in the Discord or?
Yeah, I'll just type it out here.
Okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it. All right.
So,
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
that it.
okay,
Mhm.
gotcha.
Yeah. So, it's doing different stuff. It's, yeah.
Doing both actually still.
Really?
Yep.
Oh,
Huh.
that is
That is
fantastic
why
news.
that person is so tired all the time.
Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, because I think I actually prefer the Demon Dice stuff, frankly.
Oh, I love the Demon Dice stuff. It's like when I first heard them after the change, I was like, well, I recognize that. Hold up, and my suspicions were proven correct.
Yeah. It's good music. There's like 5 EPs on Amazon Music. I don't know whether there's any more than that. Probably not, but I just have them in a playlist going on loop, and it's really good. It still has the same problem as every rap artist. Is just it's kind of distracting for me doing other stuff. So I'm doing that and then maybe half reading something while also listening to the lyrics because I can't not, because my head doesn't split its attention at all ever.
My attention is always split.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's yeah, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Slicer, you're on a time limit, so we should probably go with you.
Right. Your first major thing. Not many things happened, but the only real big one right now is so it was last Thursday. I want to say. I believe it was last Thursday. Yeah, it was because right before my 3-day weekend. My back felt a little sore. I was doing cardboard like usual, collecting all the stuff, putting it in a big container and hauling it around. So like right below my left shoulder blade, felt a little sore. Not too bad, like I slept on it wrong kind of thing. As a late 20s, that's the greatest crime I could ever commit is sleeping wrong, and I feel it all day. It's great. And so I picked up a box. I leaned over, cut it in half, and I kind of tweaked my back a little bit. It started hurting a little worse. And over the span of about walking 100 feet, that went from, oh, this kind of sucks, to I can't breathe. Something in my back twisted and locked up, and so I could barely stand up straight. I couldn't get a full lungful of air. That was wonderful. Seeing as I work in a hospital, I went to the emergency room as I, am panicking because I can't breathe, and was proceeded to wait for 3 hours in the waiting room because we're full because of COVID. So there were no rooms available. So that was great. Over the period of that 3 hours, I eventually recovered enough to start breathing normally again, and eventually just walked up to the front desk and I'm like, "Hey, can I just talk to a nurse for like 2 minutes?" And so they're like, "Yeah, sure." And the solution was just use a heating pad and a cold pack alternatingly, and just rest. And that was it. I waited 3 hours to hear that. So I went home and I did just that. And by the end of the night, I could actually breathe again. So that was cool. I love our medical system. It's great.
At least you probably don't have to pay out the nose for that.
No, that was free, thankfully. Normally, emergency room visits are, I think, a flat $100 or something like that. I forget exactly. It's not ideal, but it's not bank breaking. Let's see. What? Kind of blanking on what else I did. I started playing Saints Row.
Yeah. Which one?
The one with the simulation and the powers.
Oh, 4. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. I forgot how tongue-in-cheek this thing gets immediately. Like, it is not even starting out serious.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you ride a missile while fucking Aerosmith plays. Yes, it's tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah. I mean, you start the mission fighting terrorists in the Middle East for some reason.
Yeah.
You're a gang leader. What are you doing? But, yeah, and then you just fall into the Oval Office and suddenly become president.
Yeah.
And in a display of truly lazy game writing, design, the digital effects when you take damage, like the simulation is getting damaged and breaking down or whatever, those appear before you're actually in the simulation. So, I have a feeling they didn't really try very hard in this game, and that's okay.
I mean, they were kind of under the gun on this one, if memory serves.
Yeah. Based on the visuals, it also looks exactly like Saints Row 3, I want to say. So
yeah, it started as a expansion for Saints Row 3.
Yeah, I'm not remotely surprised to hear that.
It was going to be called Enter the Dominatrix.
Oh, fun! All right.
As a joke on Enter the Matrix. That was
very
timely humor is what that was.
Yeah, a lot of this game is actually the same sort of really timely humor. So that's been entertaining actually to go through. So that's nice. That was my comfort game when I was just trying not to focus on the pain of my own existence there for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only other thing I've been listening to a lot of D&D horror stories, which has been nice.
Yeah.
Which has been good because it makes me realize that none of my minorly inconvenient experiences have been very bad at all.
Yeah.
The worst
There's
I've had, they're trying to tell me how to play my own alignment.
There's some bad stuff out there. Like I once had a DM who threw out basically everybody's backstories and made up their own backstories for everyone.
Ooh.
Yep.
It was really bad, especially because one player had their character was them trying to deal with the grief of their stepfather passing.
Great.
Oh, ha ha ha! Nope. You don't. That's not your character anymore. Your character doesn't have a family anymore. That was all a lie.
You use D&D for therapy? Fuck you.
Oh, it was the worst. There's some really bad DMs out there.
Yeah, really bad players too.
Mm-hmm.
At least they can safely be kicked from the game. When a DM's bad, it's like, what are you gonna do? Just not play?
This is why I do my best to be a good DM. You know?
Yeah. I feel like the people who are actually good and have a respect for their players in the game kind of try a little extra hard to make sure they're good for that reason. Mm-hmm. I know I'm certainly a lot. I mean, the first time I got negative feedback about one of my games, it was quite bad because I didn't want to be one of those DMs. I didn't want to be one of the bad ones.
Yeah, what you don't realize is just how far you have to go in the bad direction to become one of those people.
Yeah, that's kind of a double-edged sword. I almost wish I didn't realize how bad it got because now my standard for what's actually bad is so much worse. But yeah, so that's been really entertaining and a great way to pass the time. I did, since I was pretty much constantly browsing my YouTube recommended feed because that became just pretty much constant D&D stuff there for a couple days. I did see a video by Digibro, who I'm following, but I don't really watch their content much anymore. He's the guy who made the big review of Asterisk War. He did a bunch of SAO analysis stuff. And what kind of set that person apart was that they were very critical and had a lot of hot takes, essentially. A lot of controversial opinions, and they were very harsh on things. That puts it in a very odd perspective when they come out with a video about their transition into being a woman and how no one respects their new content. And that's kind of a weird place to be in because the new content, I mean, it goes to show the culture of a channel, basically. You can't build up an audience being a very critical person and then expect people to be very understanding. I don't know how to word this in a way that makes it sound better, but it's the clash of the audience you have and the audience you expect.
Mm-hmm. It's an audience that is very critical and very like judgmental because that's the type of behavior that you have role modeled. And
yes.
So that's the same sort of behavior.
Role model is maybe a little unfair. It's more a case of like begets like.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're that kind of person that is very judgmental, then you will attract other people who are also very judgmental, who will happily agree with everything you're saying that is very judgmental. And then you don't really get to be surprised when you change something significantly, regardless of how important that is for you, and then they turn out to not like it and are very, very vocal about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it goes to show that I assumed this video was an April Fool's joke when I first saw it. Because it seemed so out of left field. But, I mean, I wish them the best. It was just very jarring to see. So, yeah, that was my odd takeaway. I think it was like last night before I went to bed I saw that. And I think that's it. Yeah, just a lot of Saints Row. Let's see.
I still haven't actually played a Saints Row game.
That's a shame.
They're a lot of fun.
I wish I could recommend playing 2 because that is probably my favorite story-wise. Gameplay-wise, you want to play 3. Or rather, the 3rd. Saints Row the 3rd is the best gameplay-wise. And then 4 is also quite good.
I will agree with that, yes. Don't start with 4.
Yeah, 4 will make more sense to you.
As I mentioned, you get superpowers, and it pretty much makes getting around the easiest thing in the world, which retroactively makes the other games worse because it feels like you're so limited. But if you've already played them and enjoyed them, then it's not a big deal.
I've seen gameplay of 4. I don't think I watched a full playthrough, but I did see some quick looks and stuff on it a while ago.
Yeah, that series kind of went on a journey from, the first one was GTA. Played everything pretty fucking straight, front to back. And then the second game also kind of plays a lot of things straight. There are some really good dramatic moments in that game.
Yeah.
I still feel bad for Kolos. Holy shit. Just wanted to be in a gang, man. He didn't deserve that. But yeah, 2 has the best story, but the gameplay is the controls will feel like ass if you try and go back to it now.
Yeah.
Because it was designed with it was designed before a lot of the modern conveniences came into play. Like triggers to drive is not a thing. You have to accelerate with the A button, that sort of thing.
That one isn't too bad. I mean, I recently played Fallout 3, and that one has you accelerating with the stick. As in the stick you use to steer with, too.
That's pretty... Isn't that the Halo system? Of just, like, point the camera in a direction and then move the analog stick and you will go in that direction?
Yes, but you also steer with the other stick. You basically steer with the camera.
Yeah.
This is first person, so you steer with the same stick that you drive with.
First person? That's not... Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That's not great.
The more you explain it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, it's not great. It's really bad. I'm so glad Far Cry 5. One of the few good things about it is that you drive with the trigger.
Yeah. But the third has a lot more of the modern gameplay conveniences, and the story isn't as good. Just like all over, it's not really that good. It gets much more into the zany stuff than the actual drama. In fact, I don't think it ever really goes into drama at any point.
No. At that point, the series has long since progressed past the point for tension and drama. Because your main character is essentially a deity.
I'd almost say I hope there is like a YouTube compilation of the cutscenes in Saints Row 2.
I have to assume there is, even if it's something you have to look out yourself.
God damn.
Although if you've never played the game, that would be a little hard to find.
Yeah.
Or rather, know the order of.
And it's pretty laid out. It's just like beat this gang, then beat that gang, and then beat that gang. That's how that works.
That's fair.
So there doesn't really have to be an order for any of it, except the order in which they come for each gang. But yeah, I kind of hope that exists, because that's the story that's actually worth seeing just for the sake of the story. The other two, the third and four, are more for playing. They are games first, stories like seventh.
Yeah, as the series gets more zany, there's no real... It feels like there's less ability to like the characters. I don't know. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
They're all caricatures, not characters.
They are there to do funny things, and that is about it.
Except for Shaundi. She actually gets, like, actual character development. Eventually.
Into kind of a shitty person, but yes.
Yeah.
She gets character development into a character I don't like. So,
yeah. I guess, I mean, she grows as a person technically, but, like, maybe dial that back.
Yeah. That's a good series, though. It is a shame it went the way of the dodo, but, you know, it happens.
Honestly, I'm content with what we got. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think there could be another game. Like, I mean, spoilers for the current, I mean, Saints Row 4, it's been out for a while now. Like, the world explodes. They destroy Earth.
Yeah.
This series can't go anywhere anymore.
Well, here's the thing. It did go somewhere after that.
Is it hell? Did they go to hell?
Get out of hell is, in fact, a thing, yes. The friend character from 1 and 2 and, like, 5 minutes in 3 is in hell, trying to save the protagonist from hell, I think. And then the canon end of that is basically resetting the world to one where he becomes a agent of the government, And then Agents of Mayhem is the next thing in that, and it was bad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No. I own Agents of Mayhem. I played it for an hour. I hated it.
Yeah. That was the reboot for Saints Row. Yeah.
Well, I wish I didn't learn that.
It's kind of impressive that you played a sequel to Saints Row and didn't even realize it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the art looks exactly the same, but I just assumed
Pretty
that
sure
was
the
like,
logos are fleur-de-lis.
Yeah, I just assumed that was lazy developers. Like, hey, this was successful. Let's copy it exactly.
Yeah. No.
Would be the first time that's happened.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm depressed now. That sucks. Also, am I the only one that's super weirded out by the treatment of Gat in the Saints Row series? Like, they treat him like a god. Like, it's weird.
I mean, not really. Like, the second game, he's just a dude. He is the best friend character, and then in the third game, he dies in the first 5 minutes. And they're all kind of treated like gods because they're all celebrities at that point.
That's a good point. Yeah. I forgot about that was kind of the start of the celebrity stuff.
Yeah. If memory serves, he was also kind of not enthused about that whole thing. Thought it was kind of bullshit.
No, he was not for that at all.
I thought it was super funny for everyone to wear giant Johnny Gat heads when they were robbing a bank, though.
Well, I mean that's just funny. Like that has nothing to do with popularity. That's just funny.
Yeah, that's a good series. That can go on the list of games that I want to play again, which is below the priority of the games that I want to play that I haven't played yet. The second list. I have 2 lists now. God damn it.
Only 2?
Yeah. So, anything else, Lisa?
No, I believe that's it.
Okay. 0. Hi.
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 So, I went and I bought and beat a game that I've been very excited for ever since I saw its trailer like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It's called Omori. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Omori.
I saw Mori playing it.
Okay, so Omori is kind of like a RPG Maker game, but with a ton of custom illustrations and animations. It is an RPG, kinda. Basically, you are playing as Omori, and you're in this. You start off in this dream world where you have your fun friends, and you go on an adventure, and your friend Basil goes missing, and you gotta go find Basil. And the combat has you pit up against very cute animals. With the way the combat works is characters have emotional states that affect their stats, and also have type advantages. So the emotional states are neutral, which you start with, happy, sad, and angry are the available ones you can kind of trigger. Each one of those has different tiers of emotional states. So like when you are happy, you are more likely to get crits, but you are also more likely to miss. When you are sad, you have a higher defense and lowered attack, and also attacks that hit you also deal damage to basically your MP. And when you're angry, you have higher attack but lower defense. Right?
Huh. Okay.
And so angry is effective against sad enemies. Sad enemies are effective against happy enemies.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then happy is effective against angry. Right? And so you can use different items and skills to trigger these emotional states. There's also fear as an additional emotion that you can feel, which is usually for story-based things with some certain enemies. So you go through that little dream bit, and then you wake up, and you are in the real world, and you are Sunny, and you have been a shut-in for 4 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. When you were describing this, I'm like, okay, when does the Doki Doki happen? Is it that bad, like psychological stuff, or?
There is horror in this. There is elements of suicide and depression.
Great.
It's a very psychological game.
Yeah, I was getting that sense.
For example, when you early on in the game, there's areas you cannot go to because you try to climb up this ladder. It says you are afraid of heights. You try to go across this water. It's like you are afraid of drowning.
Oh, okay.
And so to get past the progression blockers, you have to kind of overcome your phobias.
That's pretty cool.
And the game has 2 routes. One in which you open the door to go outside to meet with your real life friend, who is significantly more grown up than the dream version, and you have to deal with kind of, here's a town and its inhabitants, and your friends have all changed because something terrible happened in the past. Something very bad. I won't say what it was. Or you can choose to not open the door and stay a shut-in.
Okay.
If you choose to stay a shut-in, the dream world actually becomes rather interesting. New areas open up. The game goes to, like, the RPG sections goes to higher levels with super bosses and everything. But also, you're not going to get a good ending.
Oh. It feels like Dishonored. Like, hey, here's a fun way to play the game. It's only the bad way. Only the bad ending.
It's definitely fun for like a bonus thing, but you're also because you're becoming more of a hikikomori, hence the title Omori. The dream world is getting bigger, and your delusions are getting grander, and that's why the gameplay is expanding like that. That's not to say there isn't gameplay, in the real world. There's tons of stuff to do in the real world, so it's a trade-off,
That's fair.
But you can do both routes. There's multiple endings. Very beautiful game. I cried multiple times during the end of it. Which is something that few games really do. This is like one of my favorite indie games ever right now. It's up there with the likes of things like Hollow Knight, Undertale, One Shot. Just really great storytelling and the way it uses gameplay and other things to go through that storytelling. It's like $20 on Steam. I cannot recommend it enough. I don't want to spoil it, but there's some really fun stuff, and there's a lot of charm. There's humor, there's sadness, and yeah. It's, if you like that sort of trippy RPG Maker game with a lot of fun visuals, I think you'll like it.
Do you know if it's on anything else or if it's just on Steam?
I think it's just on Steam for now. It was a Kickstarter project, so I know that there was like, get a 3DS port, and it's kind of late for that. But yeah, it's definitely check it out, because I saw Mori Calliope was going to play this game, and I was like, I've been wanting to get this game ever since I first saw that trailer in like 2014, and I've been waiting a long time for this game to come out, and it came out December 25th on Christmas. Which, like, I had a bunch of games I got for Christmas, so I was just like, I'll get to that around that, like, later. Game is about 20 hours in length, if you just do the main route, and even if you don't complete everything. Like, if you were to complete everything, you could definitely add another couple hours on top of that. Plus, there's, like, the Hikikomori route, which is another 10 hours, with a bunch of fun stuff in it.
So it's definitely RPG length then.
Yeah, there's a lot of content.
Well, sweet. For $20, that's not a bad deal.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it left me with good feelings by the end of it.
I feel like this is going to be an Undertale situation again, where Zero recommends the thing, and I'm like, yeah, but Zero recommended the thing. I can wait on that one. And then 2 years later, I come back and I'm like, have you played this thing? It's really fucking good.
That's possible.
Just give it a shot.
I'm a bad friend.
It's okay.
Most people react that way to friends' recommendations. It's like, I'll get to it later. I'm sure it's good, so I can safely save it for later.
When you do play it, make sure to always water the flowers. Always water the flowers.
Cool. There's apparently a Nintendo Direct tomorrow.
Yes, I wanted to talk about that. 50-minute Nintendo Direct. Thank goodness. With games coming out for the first half of 2021.
Yay.
And
Normally I would be very cynical about that, but honestly with the COVID stuff, like we're hitting a real downturn in game turnout. So
we haven't had a general Nintendo Direct like this in like over a year. It's always been like specialized. Here's just this one game that we're going to focus on. Or here's just a smattering of these couple of indie or third-party developers. We haven't had a full-length like Nintendo Direct with Nintendo stuff in it.
It would probably be too much to hope for that it would have anything about Bayonetta in it.
Yeah, I think that series is dead.
It's not dead. They're still making the third one. It's just not going to be coming out in the next 6 months.
Kamiya who said, forget about Bayonetta 3 for now.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's a shame.
We're still working on it. Just forget about it. Stop asking. Forget about it.
You know, before I should talk about like Bayonetta 3, I should probably finish 2. It's on the list. It's on the fucking list.
Oh, shit. I haven't beat Bayonetta 2. Huh.
Am I the only one who beat Bayonetta 2 here?
It's okay. They're really long games, okay?
They're long,
really
I want to be good at them, and I'm not.
I think I'm good at them. I pretend I'm good.
We all think we're good at them.
I'm actually with the... I love the dodge roll. It's great. I love it so much. Which means I'm a lot better at Bayonetta than I am DMC.
I'm still a bit disappointed with how Bayonetta 2... there's some aspects of it that I don't quite like. I do want to go back to it at some point, though. But freaking my copy is on, like... I think my copy is on the Wii U.
Oh.
I don't want to turn that thing on again.
That's fair.
I can't stop thinking about how she has short hair now. Not because it looks good, because but it does, granted. But like short hair, nice. But the implications.
Her suit not working as well because she has short hair.
Of where her suit comes from.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. There's not that many places for that
Don't
hair to
worry
have come
about
from.
It. Stop. Cease and desist. Anyway, they're going to be talking about the new Smash character.
Yeah,
They're
probably.
making more? Holy fuck.
Yeah, second season.
They're still on the second season. They haven't finished it.
I just assumed Smash would die out now or something.
There was
No, they're halfway through the second DLC pack.
There was Steve, there was the ARMS character. Was there another one?
Steve, Min Min, and Sephiroth were the last three, and there's
right.
6 in the pack.
How did I forget Sephiroth? Holy shit, what's wrong with me?
Because he's kind of an obvious pick, I suppose. He's not left field Minecraft Steve.
So there's 3 slots left.
I thought it was 2.
No, it is a six characters in the pack. Min Min,
Okay.
Steve, and Sephiroth are 3 of the 6.
Okay.
So we got 3 slots left. I feel like whoever they announce for next is probably going to be tied into one of the upcoming games or things they'll be announcing during the direct. But you never know.
It is entirely possible.
They said news relating to Super Smash Brothers. So it's like, is it a new character? It better be a new character. It's not going to be like, hey, here's a patch.
It could be, hey, here's a patch that's actually going to make unfucking netcode work.
Yeah, I heard they were talking about fixing their super outdated netcode. Just across their entire Nintendo service.
As someone not even in the scene in the slightest, what is the netcode? What's the problem with it?
It's bad.
Nintendo's online is not that great. It is bad and is extremely outdated.
Very laggy.
This is basically the same internet they've been going on for like multiple decades. So it's really outdated. So they need to go fix that.
I kind of feel like the entire purpose of having a paid online system was so they could use that money to hire people who can make a system that's worth paying for.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of a
at least they're not doing
but
you hear about the whole Xbox Live thing where it's just like, we're going to double the price of Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah, and then the internet's like, no, fuck, no, you won't.
So $120, who wants to get it, guys?
I don't know if they wound up doing that or not, or if it was just something they were considering and then tested the waters and were like, nope.
They're doing it. They're doing it.
Oh, as far as I'm aware. $10 a month sounds like a lot of money.
Yeah, that's full-on subscription RPG prices, so...
Like, I know Nintendo's online is bad, but for $20, at least they get access to, like, some free stuff. It's only $20.
Yeah, I've had that. I just fucking let it go. It re-ups on its own. I don't fucking... I haven't even turned on my Switch in ages, but it's $20. Who cares?
Yeah,
I can live with that once a year.
You get some SNES and NES online games if you want to go play some old school stuff, and that's kind of cool.
Tetris 99. That almost makes it worth it on its own.
Yeah.
I want to play some Tetris.
$120 is you're asking a lot from me, Microsoft.
Yeah. Especially for a system that some people might not even actively use. They just use it to get games. Or just use it for the sales. I know you can do that with PlayStation Plus. They offer enough sales and free games that you can just coast along on it. You don't even need to necessarily play anything online.
You know what? The thing that makes it really, really ballsy is them wanting to do this right when they're really trying to push their Game Pass. So they're trying to have 2 subscription services going at the same time.
Oh, I thought they were phasing one of those out, and they were going to be kind of doubling down on the other one.
Is that how it's working?
I thought they were rolling gold into Game Pass. So as long as you had, Game Pass, you had gold, basically.
Oh, if that's the case, that actually makes more sense. If it's like, okay, you just have all of these games and you can play them fucking whenever for $10 a month, that makes sense as a pricing strategy. But just multiplayer is not that. So
yeah, I wouldn't quote me on that by any means, but that's how I thought it worked.
I don't care enough to go check that.
Fair. I can tell you that the Game Pass system doesn't actually have a lot of games on it. Not many that I would want to play anyway.
Okay, There is mention of a UK price hike, going from £7 to £8 per month.
Man, I hope I can see some more Breath of the Wild 2 in the Nintendo Direct. That would make me happy.
That'd be great.
Yeah, they have reversed their thing and saying, yeah, we're not doing that, actually.
Oh, good. Nice to know they have a modicum of business sense.
Mm-hmm. It's like, let's float this idea. No.
I guess that is the benefit of the internet being so vocal. So
Yeah.
you find out feedback real fast.
Oh, and you still can't get a PS5.
Really?
You know what? Microsoft do tend to be pretty good about that. It's unfortunate that they keep needing to be told no, but when they're told no, they tend to actually listen.
That's fair. They could be Bethesda, where everyone tells them no and they just do it anyway.
I'm looking right now on the Best Buy store page for the PS5. It is still sold out.
Yeah, well, there's still only 2 games on it, so it's fine.
Scalpers have gotten it real bad. I saw an article. It's like scalpers are angry because of the bad journalism covering them.
Oh no. I still find terrible joy in that one story of the guy on Twitter that was like, hey, you can buy a PS5 for $1,000. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
The guy had like a stack of them built up and then announced his address.
Yep. And immediately got robbed.
By a guy who just like tweeted the whole thing, like every step of the process. Like, hey, I'm 20 minutes out.
Yep.
Let's go rob this guy. Oh, that's so great. Love that. I love the internet sometimes.
Yeah, so they actually robbed me, so never mind about the PS5s, I guess. Yeah, that was terrible, and you shouldn't laugh at that.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't.
Anything else, Zero?
I mean, there was Omori. There's a Nintendo thing coming up. Trying to think. Okay, so my friend who was doing a Starfinder game decided I don't like playing Starfinder and DMing for it, so we're gonna switch to a different. We're gonna go back to D&D, basically. So I'm going back to D&D on that game, and making different characters. And I am going to be playing a strength monk, who is like a because monk can use dex or strength.
Can they?
Because of the way some of the new features have come out, they can.
Oh, okay, cool.
Specifically, what I've learned is because of the new, I think it was one of the extra additional features you can get for monk. You can get dedicated weapon, which turns one of the weapons you're proficient with into a monk weapon. But that's like your only monk weapon. So I'm playing a Goliath who is kind of retooled as a fire Goliath instead of like the hill giant related, who is Sun Soul monk with a great club. So big like red Oni energy. It's actually really interesting how trying to work all that out. It's like, no, wait, I can still do pretty much everything with this. The only thing I lose out is some like armor class, but like I miss out on one armor class. A few more if I switch out things, but it's like I can get ASIs to fix that later. So 20 strength monk, let's go. And then I have
Multi-attack with Great Club sounds terrifying.
because I can Great Club and then I can do unarmed strikes off of that. So like headbutts and kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm just imagining him like just swinging the Great Club, hitting the thing so hard that the Great Club bounces off and flies up into the air so he can just do some fucking palm strikes immediately after before catching the club. Yeah, that sounds fucking metal.
And since he's Sun Soul, that means he can just fire like fire beams out of his fists as well as range attacks.
Also,
So
you can there are no dex equivalent of the gauntlets of ogre strength or whatever, and they're equivalent of the higher level belts and stuff. So you can eventually get like a storm giant belt and just be doing like +8 strength damage.
Yeah, scales well with some good items.
That also makes all of your saves better, I believe. All of your special attacks, unless those scale off of wisdom for your DC. I forget.
Some of the like special stuff scales off either wisdom or dex. But if I'm just hitting things, strength is the best. And so then another player is like, well, I'm also gonna be I'm gonna be a half Goliath monk for like way of the astral self or whatever. So that means he can basically conjure a stand. And then we're just like, wait, so I have sun powers, you have a stand. Are we part 3 JoJo? Is this what's happening now?
Could be. I mean, you'd be shocked how often JoJo comes up in D&D.
So I'm excited to go for part 3 JoJo. I'm just Pillarmen. Let's go. Yeah. That's about it for my week. I was just getting through Omori and Valentine's. Oh yeah, Valentine's was a thing.
It existed.
Yeah. I got chocolates for some people. It was nice.
I got cookies from Dawn.
Yeah.
It was nice. And then me and Dawn watched Avengers because I'm taking Dawn through the MCU. My friend Dawn. And then Captain America Winter Soldier.
Okay. Fair enough.
Still a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's a spy movie. It's not really a superhero movie. So, yeah.
But yeah, that's it for my week.
I gotta go, by the way. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
All right. He's gone.
We did the Patreon thing last week, right? I think we did.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
We are Gucci.
Don't say that again.
You sound like you want to just collapse and die.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I never realized how uncomfortable my chair is until I bought a pressure cushion and sat in it today. It is very nice. It's squishy.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
My chair broke the other day, and I had to fix it. It's missing a screw or something, and I don't know where it went, and that's worrying.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great. Okay, so kind of want to go to sleep soon.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, podcasts and stuff. Patreon, link in the description if you feel like it, whatever. Discord, link in the description. It's public. You can just drop in and yell at everyone for being shitty.
Yeah.
Because they all suck. Except for Dawn and Velvet and... No, everyone else sucks. Including the people on this show. And including me.
Yeah. We suck.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm literally falling
Go
asleep
get some
watching it.
rest.
Okay, I'm gonna go to. Bye, everybody.
All right. Later.